Hey, good morning. Welcome back to another video. Today's video is not going to be like my ordinary videos where I show you stuff out of my collection. I'm going to tell you a story here. Now, when I was in the Navy, I had the opportunity to go to an air show in the state of Washington, and I got to see Major Gregory Pappy Boyington. So I'm going to tell you a little story here on how I met Pappy Boyington. All right, I'm going to tell you a little story here about Major Boyington, his history. He was the Marine Corps' leading ace during World War II. He was a fighter pilot, and he was credited with 26 kills. He was born December 4th, 1912, in Idaho, and he served from 1934 till 1947. Boyington began his military training in college as a member of the Army ROTC and became a cadet captain. He was commissioned a second lieutenant in the Army Coastal Reserves in June 1934 and then served 2 months of active duty with the 630th Coast Artillery at Fort Worden in Washington. In the spring of 1935, he applied for flight training under the Aviation Cadet Act, but discovered that it excluded married men, and at the time he was married. Boyington grew up as Gregory Hallenbeck, Hallenbeck, and he assumed his stepfather was his father, which he wasn't. Yeah. He found his birth certificate and he learned his last name was Boyington. So he started using the last name Boyington because he could get into this flight training under Boyington, which they didn't know he was married under the name Boyington. And then on June 13th, 1935, he transferred to the Marine Corps Reserve. He was stationed at Naval Air Station, Pensacola, for flight training. He was designated a naval aviator on March 11th, 1937, then transferred to the Marine Corps base Quantico for duty with Aircraft 1, Fleet Marine Force. He was discharged from the reserve on July 1, 1937 to accept a second lieutenant commission in the Marine Corps the following day. All right, and now he served in the Flying Tigers. In August of 1941, he enrolled in the AVG, American Volunteer Group, and he became a flight leader. He was frequently in trouble with Claire Chenault, which would be General Chenault. He would be in charge of the Flying Tigers because Boyington, he was always drinking, fighting, and getting in trouble all the time. He was credited with 2 kills with the Flying Tigers. And in 1942, he broke his contract with the AVG and returned to the United States. And in September 1942, he rejoined the Marine Corps and took a major's commission. In 1943, took command of VMF 214, the Black Sheep Squadron. He shot down 14 planes in 32 days. In January 1944, he was shot down and picked up by a Japanese submarine. He spent 20 months as a POW and was credited with 26 kills after the war, which made him the Marine Corps' leading ace during the war. After the war, he was promoted to lieutenant colonel, and he was awarded the Medal of Honor. All right, here's how big a fan I was when I was a kid. Anything I found in the newspaper or magazines, I would cut out and keep. And here's newspaper clippings all about Pappy and the Black Sheep. And also, when the TV series came out, Robert Conrad was featured on the cover of TV Guide. All right, here's Pappy on the right, and the Japanese guy here, he was the guy that shot him down, and they got reunited after the war. Here you can read this. And then I'll turn this around and show you this one. He went on a fishing trip with Jimmy Doolittle. Because both retired, fished for salmon together off Westport, Washington this week. Boyington was credited with shooting down 28 enemy planes. And Doolittle, he led the Doolittle raid. And there they are, Pappy on the left and Doolittle on the right. And they each have a real nice salmon that they caught. And on this one here, here's the original black sheep, picture of them. And they're talking about the TV show in this article. And this article here, I should have read this before I started this video. But, oh yeah, this is a continuation of the one with the Japanese guy that shot him down. I'll put this here for a couple seconds, and you want to pause the screen so you can take a look at it. And this one here, you got Robert Conrad on the left and Pappy on the right. He was a technical advisor for the show. And this is also an article about when Jimmy Doolittle and Pappy went on that fishing trip together. And this is another one. Robert Conrad remembers Black Sheep legend. And it talks about Pappy there. Died on January 11th at the age of 75. He was a heavy smoker, so I guess it was lung cancer. Just like everybody back in them days. Probably 1 or 2 packs a day everybody smoked back then. All right, here's a TV guide. It's got Robert Conrad on the front of it. And this is from 78. And some of you young people probably never heard of a TV guide. Well, it was a little weekly publication that came in. Well, you have to subscribe to it, but it came to your house once a week. And inside here, it would list all the TV shows, the day, the time, and what channel they were on. And back then, you can see there's only a couple channels you could get on your TV. Yeah, this is July 15th, 1978. But why I kept it, because it was about the black sheep, and then every TV guide had nice articles in them. And here is an article about the black sheep. And this is when in the second season when the nurses came on the show. And I believe this one right here was Robert Conrad's real daughter. But I didn't care for the show when they came on, especially when that kid came on the show. I think that ruined it for him. But anyway, that's that. All right, here's a model of the F-4U Corsairs that they actually flew during the war. This one's made out of wood. I got this at an auction here recently last year. But it had a R-28 double wasp engine in it. One of the fastest fighter planes during World War II. It could carry bombs. And this is based off Pappy's actual plane. And there's Lulu Bell. That's what he named his plane. And all these kill flags. And his plane was number 86. Right there is the squadron patch of VMF 214. I'll let you read that there. Now I'll show you some original photographs.
wearing the Medal of Honor. Somewhere in the Pacific. There's a colorized photo. This is after he came back as a POW. And here they're prepping for a mission. And here he's holding some kill flag stickers. Here's his headstone from Arlington National Cemetery. And with Robert Conrad. And here he's playing a general on the show.
All right, so right after high school, I wanted to go in the military, so I joined the Navy, and I was assigned to an aircraft carrier, the USS Ranger, from 1982 to 1985. So we went on deployment in 1983, which is called a Westpac, for 9 months overseas, and then back to San Diego, North Island. That was our home base, North Island, San Diego. And then after couple sea trials and everything, we had to go up to Bremerton, Washington for a carrier overhaul. So while I was up there, I was assigned as a fire watch. And what I would do, I would when the welders come in to to do the ship, to tear them apart, I would have to go with a welder with a fire extinguisher rather, and then just in case any fires broke out. So me and this welder, we got to talking, and both of us like military history. So he told me one day, he said, "Hey, I'm going to an air show this weekend. If you want to go, Pappy Boyington's going to be there." He said, "Well, you want to go?" I said, "Hell yeah, I'm going." So that was a Saturday. Luckily I had weekend liberty, didn't have duty that weekend. So can't remember how 2 or 3 hour drive down there, and we stayed the night, and I got to meet Pappy Boyington, man. I was so thrilled because he was my childhood hero. So I'll show you some pictures here of at the air show with Pappy Boyington, and I got a real nice big squadron picture, like about this. I don't know, about that tall. It shows the whole squadron, and he personally autographed that to me. And then he was selling his book here. He wrote 2 books, and I bought this one, and he personally autographed that to me. So I'll show you this picture I bought, and I'll show you this book up close.
Now we get to the air show, and here he is, all these books, boxes of books. And there he is signing autographs for his books. And here he is walking around, taking a break. And here I am with Pappy. I'm on the left. I'm 21 years old in this photo. And sitting there with my hero.
All right, here's the picture I bought. He was selling a whole bunch of different ones, and I like this one the best because it showed the whole squadron in front of the Corsair. It's going to have a little glare on it, but hang on with me here, and I go in here close, and I'll show you how he personalized it to me. It's to Kenny Reese, August 18, 1984, with Black Sheep greetings from Pappy Boyington. I really love this picture. But that's hanging above my fireplace, and I treasured this ever since I had it. All right, now we'll take a look at this book I got from Pappy. This is the book that he wrote after the war, and inside it's copyrighted 1958. And the book he wrote before, I think, was the book about him being shot down. But just lost my page here. I think it's this one. Yeah. Here is what Pappy wrote to me when I bought the book, just like the picture. August 18, 1984, to Kenny Reese with Black Sheep greetings from Pappy Boyington. And that's one of the books I treasure in my collection. It's a nice, big, thick book. I'm not into reading. I don't like to read. But I'm definitely keeping this the rest of my life. Maybe I'll have my brother just throw it in the casket when I die and take it with me. There it is. And on the back, it's got the Corsair. And there's the picture that I just showed you. And there's the Corsairs. Here's another book. Pappy didn't write this, but it's about his life. It was written by Bruce Gamble. I think he had something to do with the TV series. That's a really cool photo on it. Real thick book, just like the one Pappy wrote. And there's a picture of Bruce. You can probably get these on Amazon. All right, now I'm going to talk to you about the TV show. It aired in 1976. It was called Baa Black Sheep. It went for 2 seasons, and it had 37 episodes. It aired on NBC from September 76 to April 1978. And here is my DVD collection of the Black Sheep TV series. I actually loved this show as a kid. When that came out, I was probably 13 when this came out. I remember one time I had a part-time job, and the Black Sheep was on when I was scheduled to work. And I asked the boss, I said, "Hey, can I have this Wednesday off?" He said, "Why?" I said, "Well, the Black Sheep's on." He said, "You went off for work because of a TV show?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I never heard that before." Well, but he did let me off. And here is volume 2 of the second season. It's second season to me, it was real stupid because they brought this stupid kid in. He was supposed to be 16 years old. He had the 70s hairstyle going on, long hair and parted in the middle. And the nurses came on. I didn't like that. They could have really done away with that. And here's the final season of number 2. There's the nurses in the center. And try to get this up close. You can see right here is the kid, which I think ruined the show. See, he's got the long hair. Now, I think Hollywood was hurting back then for the show to continue because they wanted to try to get younger viewers and more girls to watch. I guess they thought that bringing that kid in that would help promote the show with young female audience. But it only lasted 2 seasons. And then I found these when I was out the mall one time. This is 2 books. The Hawk Flies on Sunday and Devil in the Slot. Now these were actual episodes of the TV series. And these are dated, copyrighted. Let's see if I can find it here real quick. Yeah, 1978 on that one. Probably the same thing on this one. Now this is April 1980. So this came out after the series was over. Yeah, 1980. But like I say, I don't read. I don't like to read, but I did read these 2 books. Now here's a cool find I got last year off my buddy John Boy Militaria. He's also got a YouTube channel, so after you're done watching mine, check out his channel, John Boy Militaria. So he sold me this picture here. You got Robert Conrad portraying Pappy, and it's got both of their autographs there of Robert Conrad and Pappy Boyington. I wish it had my name on there instead of theirs, but Jim Kingsley is the guy. It says, "Best wishes, Greg Pappy Boyington." And one of Robert Conrad's a little faded. It says, "To Jim, a good guy. Love, Bob Conrad." But I think that's a real cool photo there. Sorry about that glare. Yeah, I'll treasure this one too. See the Corsair in the background. Those are the ones that flew in the TV series. All right, anybody remember these? 132 scale planes. Got the Japanese Zero, and you got the Corsair Revell models. These come out right after the show was made, and I found these on eBay a couple years ago. I had these when I was a kid, and this one here, in 1977, Universal Studios Incorporated. Trademark of Universal City Studios. It tells a little bit about the show. Got nice pictures on it. Inside, you know, you got your directions. And it's a uncompleted model, but it'll be a Japanese Zero after you get the kit built. There's that one, and this one here is still sealed up, unopened. But there's Robert Conrad as Major Boyington. There's pictures of that, and on the side here, other side, to show you what the model looks like after it's done. And the size of it. All right, my buddy John Boy, he went to the show of shows, and he told me, hey, after he got back, he sent me a message and said, hey, I talked to a dealer down there, and he's going to contact you. He has something for you. So a couple days later, I get a phone call, and it's this guy who has these 2 posters. He said he's going to send me for free. He even paid the postage. So if you're watching, I really appreciate it, and thanks a lot. And it's got like a little collage of pictures of the Pappy and some of the black sheep. It's a really cool poster. Really appreciate it. There's 2 Corsairs flying up. And there's Pappy after the war. I think it was like a get-together. Here's some of the squadron. There they are during wartime. And there's a Corsair production line. Building the Corsair. That'd been my dream job right there. I love the Corsair. And there's Pappy sitting in his Corsair. See, I told you earlier that his plane was number 86. So that's the first one here. All right, here's the second poster that was enclosed. It's a photo of 4 Corsairs, and it's signed by pilots. Some of them are black sheep, some are probably just Corsair pilots. And you can see AVG, American Volunteer Group, that's the Flying Tigers. And here's a Black Sheep member, Jim Hill, Stan Kelly, but he was in VMF 235. And then here's a Navy pilot. You can tell it's Navy because it just says VF. And if it was Marine Corps, it would be VMF. And here's a guy that was in VMF 214. Looks like Burgess, maybe. There's Lieutenant McClung, VMF 214, Pappy's wingman, and he shot down 7 Zeros. And this guy here was VMF 122 and VMF 441. But that's an awesome poster right there. Now, something else that's really cool I'm going to show you. This is an actual recognition model of a Corsair from World War II. It's really heavy. It's made out of some kind of metal or pot metal. But those two holes there was probably for the stand, and that was set up just like that. But it's a really cool model. I got that at some kind of military collectible show. All right, one more thing I got. After this video is over, I'm gonna probably find something else I wanted to put in here, but as I was cleaning up here and putting everything away and unplugging, I found this. Forgot I had this. It's a 2-record set LP of an interview, his personal reflection of his life. I don't want to open it, but it's yeah, he was such a nice guy when you met him, real friendly. There's another picture of him. And we'll look at this one more time. Pappy Boyington, World War II ace, a personal reflection of his life. 2-record set. There's the patch of the Black Sheep Squadron, and there's the Navy Marine Corps wings, and some good artwork. All right, as I was editing this, I did find something else I forgot. There's a nice piece of artwork I bought, already framed. It's a pencil drawing of Pappy Boyington, his Medal of Honor, his Navy Cross, and here's the P-40 that he flew in China with the AVG, and there's the Corsair that he flew during the World War II. And up here, Lieutenant Colonel Greg Pappy Boyington, 214 Black Sheep, USMC Medal of Honor recipient. And here's a Navy Cross. And then down here it shows the P-40 and the F-4U Corsair, and it says he had 28 victories. Like that's hanging in my hallway. All right, I hope you liked that video. I spent a lot of time on this one because I had to do a lot of research and dig all my stuff out and doing a lot of editing on this one. I wanted to do this for a long time, but finally got around to it. So if you did enjoy it, please hit the like button. And thanks for watching. See you on the next video. Have a good week.